The dawnblade. Sir Paulman rests his battle Nick's sword on Baron Gregory's desk. This is the sword I was given when I was knighted, but it is not the blade I bore when I fought alongside the Shadowbinders. No, then I bore the legendary sword of Sir Archetype, the dawnblade. What's so really special about his sword then? Asked Baron Gregory. Sir Archetype was a great hero of the Dragon Wars. It was he who drove Dragon Lord Wyvern back. He who forced that ancient evil to bind itself into the Shadow Rune. I believe his sword will be essential, both to unlocking his power and to sealing it again. So where is it now then? I return the sword to its resting place in Sir Archetype's tomb. You must travel to the tomb before dawn. As the sun rises, it will cast its holy rays down into the burial chamber. When the sun's light reaches Archetype's grave, whoever is standing there shall wield the dawnblade. And so our heroes traveled to the tomb. Along the way, they had to help some elves. They got nicked up a little bit. But they are working better as a team. But they had to get a whole lot better. Because the minute they entered the tomb, there were a couple Marauds there waiting for them. And so it was begun. The heroes already had to take and fight formidable foes. And so L'Oreal Bloodwood decided to move first. But she came across something. And it was a tripwire. So she moved once, hit the tripwire, and then so she had to spend 2 fatigue going up against the Marriott. And so everybody moved into position to fight. And the first one to strike was L'Oreal. And she attacked the Marriott in front of her with a true shot. The weapon she had just gotten from the past adventure. She was ready to try this thing out really good. And so she attacked. And she hit the beast, and it was a good blow. Wow. And it was such a good attack. That fatigue that they had suffered, the health they had suffered had been gone. And she did some damage to the thing, but it got to make its defense. But it still was not a good defense. And the beast took a very big hit. And so she spent her last bit of fatigue to move forward, which she already did. And she got to take another action. She wanted to finish this beast off. And she did. And it fell dead. Averick Albrecht, with his iron battle axe, decided he would go next. And he attacked the beast in front of him. And it was a miss. And so he attacked again. This time it was a hit. And the dark fortune a little bit came along. And so the beast took 5. And so what would they do next? Well, Shiver moved once to try to get a shot, and he attacked with the Shadow Rune at the beast. And he missed. And he shot again. And this time he hit. 5, 6. And the beast was still alive, but barely. Let's see here. And so it was up to Albright. No, it was up to Crispin the Thirsty. He would attack next. And so he would move close to the monster and attack with his grinding axe. His new favorite weapon. And then he hit the creature, and it was destroyed. And so the Overlord thought about what he would do and sent some reinforcements. And so the ray of sunlight moved ever closer, and it appeared. They only had a little bit of time before the ray of sunlight would hit them. Monsters had now started to appear. An Eaton appeared behind them, and a goblin appeared from somewhere in the tomb. And they could hear another Myriad way in the back. The Eaton attacked L'Oreal. And it missed. The goblin shot an arrow at Grisbin. And that was a hit. But Grisbin defended. And he took a little bit of damage. The arrow was a good shot, a decent shot. But now the hero's turn. They needed to get to the dawnblade by the time the light shone. They needed to be able to hold it off. What would they do? What was their strategy? How would they go about it? L'Oreal spent her fatigue and she moved up to search. Spent the rest of her fatigue, but she found nothing there. And so she moved here and attacked the goblin right there. And she hit the beast. And it defended. And it was killed. Knowing that the monsters would keep coming, knowing they had to hold off the monsters until the sunlight hit the dawnblade, they decided to perform a formation somewhere around the tomb. And so that's what they would do. And so the heroes made a formation around the tomb where the dawnblade was located, waiting for the light to hit it. Also, Averick searched and found himself a power potion. They knew the monsters would come, but they would have to fend them off just a little bit longer. And so the sunlight moved even closer to him. And as the Overlord thought of what he was going to do. But the monsters would keep coming now. And this was going to be tough. But the heroes wisely had their strategy going. They had a choke point. And since the big monsters could not fit all at once, it was going to bottleneck everything. But still, goblins were coming from behind. And so that's the way it was. And so a goblin attacked. And he attacked Averick Albert. And he hit. But it was just a minor wound. But the Marriott got to attack. And he attacked Shiver. Shiver, whatever you want to call it. And it was a hit. Ooh. And a spell of an expert blow was used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shiver took a big hit. One that came very close to knocking him out. But now it was the hero's turn. And now it was time for them to strike back. L'Oreal shot at the Marriott in front of her with the true shot. It did some damage. So she shot again with the true shot. And the blow moved the monster back 1 space. But the monster was still alive. Shiver used the shadow rune to attack the monster. And this time, the monster fell dead. And he rested. Grisbin the Thirsty attacked the goblin behind him. And the goblin too fell dead. And Grisbin the Thirsty rested as well. Havrick, he rested as well. And he decided to do his heroic feat. Well, let's see. Let's change that. Well, alright. He decided he would not use his heroic feat. It was not time yet. And so now it was the monster's turn. And here they came again. More monsters even appeared. Another goblin appeared. The Marriott moved forward. The Eaton moved forward. It was getting bad. And so the goblin attacked. And again, this goblin attacked Grisbin. Grisbin defended and barely took any damage. The Eaton attacked L'Oreal the Bloodwood. And they could feel a spell forming. The Overlord had another trick up his sleeve. L'Oreal took a significant hit. The Marriott attacked, and he attacked Shiver. And again, they felt the Overlord. And this time, the blow was too much. And he fell unconscious to the floor. So now what would the heroes do? L'Oreal attacked the Eden in front of her with her true shot. And she knocked the Eden back a space. And it did no damage, so she had to attack again. Well, barely wounded it. So she did the attack again. And it still was alive. Grisbin the Thirsty attacked the goblin behind him. Well, no, he was going to change that strategy. First, Shiver healed himself. Then Grisbin the Thirsty attacked the Marriott in front of him. And he wounded the creature. And he attacked again. This time the creature was not hurt as bad. And so now the Overlord got another chance to go. More goblins appeared, and the monsters moved even closer. And the Eden attacked L'Oreal. And L'Oreal fell unconscious to the ground. One of the goblins attacked Averick. And Averick took some damage. And the Averick goblin attacked Crispin. And Grisbin took some damage. And now the Marriott attacks Shiver. And Shiver survived the attack, barely hanging on. Could they regroup? Could they last? We'll find out soon enough.